Okay, we ready?
Yep.
All right. All right, welcome to the board meeting. It's the quorum of women and Brian, so we'll start this
A
meeting.
thorn among the roses.
That's right, that's right. Would you all please stand for the pledge to the flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Well, welcome back to Moyer, our second time. It's starting to feel like home here. It is. Has that close to first day of school smell of an elementary school, so it feels good here. So, first of all, we're going to start off with the board bravos and updates. So I'll start. We have it's down to 11, isn't it, in Kentucky for Teacher of the Year?
It is for
Robin Kemp.
for semifinalists.
For
in
semifinal,
high
okay.
school.
So we have Robin Kemp, who is a science teacher in the high school, and she was nominated for Valvoline Teacher of the Year, and she is one of the 11, I think it's 11, John, in the high school, is that what you said?
It's 11.
11, so 4, yes. So we're very excited. I can't remember that we ever had one.
Not that I can recall either.
Yes, the cool thing she did, I don't know if you can remember, but the kids had a project where they built a canoe in the entryway of the high school, and it's very cool. So if you can go on Facebook and see it, you can see it, sped up, and they built it and had a fundraiser. So it was a very cool project. So congratulations to her. So we have high hopes that we'll have one. So. All right, anybody else have something they want to talk about?
Sure. I'd like to take this opportunity to welcome Elizabeth Waymeyer to the new assistant principal at Woodville, to our administrative team. And welcome. I'm glad Woodville will have two of the familiar faces in just two different roles this year, so they'll all be excited for that.
So thanks for coming.
Thank you.
We've welcomed people in the past, like maybe Keith, who wasn't here when
Just
we
saying.
welcomed him. We said nice things about him, but
I felt the love all
We
over.
won't say 'em
good,
again.
good.
Much appreciated.
That's good. That's
Keith
good.
started a domino effect over it.
That's right, that's right. So, and then Julie?
Couple of things. One, if athletes are knocking on your door tonight, tomorrow, maybe even Wednesday night, please answer. The HABA booster drive, fundraising drive is going on for the next couple of nights. The student athletes will be coming around asking for money. It's the biggest fundraiser that the group does, and it costs a lot to run the sports in the schools, so we would appreciate you answering the door, or if not, sending money in the envelope. Also, another thing to think about if you're looking for a way to get involved, PTSO organizations are going to be trying to get new members and get donations at open houses. I don't know why I'm looking around like there's multiple cameras. Check on that when you go to your school's open house, sign up. Some even have really nice swag, maybe like a really cool tote bag.
Thank you,
that
Vanna.
Pam modeling at the high school. Yeah. So that's at the high school. I know there's a blanket at the middle school PTSO. So definitely check those out in your elementaries, in your middle and your high. And last but not least, Taste of the Season. Great drama cast productions this summer, but Taste of the Season fundraiser for our drama students. And I know Jeff would talk about that if he was here tonight, so I'll do that plug for him.
Great. Did we miss anything?
A couple others that on our list here. Kelly Booth, congratulations to her. She's recognized as a teacher leader for the University of Kentucky Holocaust Initiative, so they'll be developing trainings and curricula across the state, and so she's one of the few teachers to represent the state of Kentucky there. A whole slew of back-to-school events coming up over the next week or so. So definitely check the kids' calendar, visit the website, make sure we get out to the back-to-school events. We also have our open houses that are posted for the schools coming up at the end of the month as well. Back-to-school breakfast, and thanks to a lot of people up here as well as within our community, we'll welcome back our faculty and staff this coming Thursday, the 11th. And so it's opening day, and it's exciting. It's a different kind of opening day. I get excited about all of them. But our favorite one is the 17th. So mark your calendars. It's the best time of the year. We get the students back here and their lovely faces in just a little over a week.
I think the parents agree it's the best time of year.
It is.
Too, 'cause they
We had
leave
a,
home.
we had a safety meeting with some of the City of Fort Thomas. I called it the handoff meeting. Hand it back on.
Yep, we'll take them.
I also want to piggyback on the Kelly Booth thing because that all came about from a grant that she wrote with FTEF. So that's been a great partnership, and she's been able to do some of the things because of FTEF. So we want to thank them as well.
And she's on the, I think she's on the board of directors, or she's the teacher rep for the Holocaust Community Center in Cincinnati as well. So that came about because of the grant partnership.
So a really good example of the partnerships we have with Foundation. So I'm excited for.
And kids.
Well, good. Okay, we don't have anybody signed up for community forum, so we can go into the action items. And the first one on the agenda is facility use and the fee schedule. So you're going to speak to this?
Yeah, we do have, we have a handful of updates that are in the consent agenda for procedures around particularly rental of our facilities. And so Jerry Wisman actually did a pretty thorough review. He made some recommendations for changes to make it a little bit more consistent with some of what you see across the region, across the state, and use of facilities. But then also to update since leaving launch. The reason it's an action item is he also took the chance to review the fee schedule of how much it would cost to rent our spaces, which hadn't been updated in about 10 years. And so he did adjust some of the rental costs and clarified the priority areas to make sure that we could have some flexibility and capture the different groups that use our spaces, some of which pay and some of which are really tight community partners serving exclusively our kids. And so we put an attachment there for you of revisions to the schedule, and then in the consent agenda are the just procedures that we revised as well.
Great. Okay. I need a motion for the approval of the facility use fee schedule.
So move.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. All right. Next is the resolution releasing right of first refusal. So will you explain that?
Yep. We actually were approached because there are a couple properties at the top of Miller that have passed through an estate, and there's a sale that is about to take place. And in the review of the deed, when the district purchased our current central office, there was with that purchase a right of first refusal that was offered to the bank that passed to us as the owner. Should those properties ever become available for purchase, we would have a right of first refusal. And so they are for sale. There's a potential buyer. And so in speaking through the board, we really don't have priorities or interest in purchasing property on Miller Lane. And so what I'm asking is the authorization to basically pass up the right to purchase.
Okay. Questions? All right. I need a motion for the approval of the resolution releasing the board's right of first refusal in real estate and authorizing the superintendent to execute the release of agreement right of first refusal document.
I move first refusal, I think.
Second?
Second.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay. All right.
She kept going.
Okay. Next section is the cooperative. You're going to talk about that too?
Yep.
Okay.
Our district and really all of the Northern Kentucky districts participate in the Northern Kentucky Cooperative for Educational Services. We have a variety of benefits that come as a result of being part of this. I've served on the board. We make some regional decisions. They support us in professional development, some of the regional school programs, in a variety of other ways. The membership is based on enrollment, so we've actually not been invoiced for our current membership. We don't expect it to go up, but this is to basically allow us to continue to participate, that I would serve as a board member, and that we would name Jamie Flaherty as an alternate should I not be able to attend.
Okay. Questions about that?
Yep.
Yeah, you've been doing this a long time?
Yeah.
Okay, I need a motion for the approval to continue participation with NKCES for the 22-23 school year, designating Brian Robinson as representative and Jamie Flaherty as the alternate representative.
So moved.
Second?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. All right, we are now into the discussion items. So you are going to do our areas of emphasis?
Yep.
Okay.
Peggy, did I send a attachment to you? This weekend.
No, I don't have it. So where did you email it to me, or what did you do?
I did, I think. May have shared it as a shared doc possibly. All right, well, I'll review it from here. So
Okay.
each year, the Board of Education, at the conclusion of a school year, we review our previous goals. And then we have an opportunity to have a board retreat where we look at current progress, current needs, and establish some goals that I then take to our leadership team in our leadership retreat, which we had the last week of July. And working with our leadership team suggest what our areas of emphasis will be, so that there's great alignment and folks, you did fine. Yay. And so we've identified some areas of emphasis for this school year. This will drive a lot of the work that we will do as a leadership team. It'll drive some of the initiatives that we have, and I would imagine it'll drive my evaluation as well in terms of what we're doing. These are not an exhaustive list of things that we do. Obviously, there are things that take place at each of our schools. There are ways that we continue to improve, but we did bucket it into 4 big areas that we want to give particular emphasis to this year. So one, last year when we had this discussion, we talked about a decade of excellence and what that looks like. And as a district that is exceptionally high performing and is very well respected and has a tradition of excellence in this state, what does it take to continue to move forward? What does it take for us to focus our attention towards being better versions of ourselves? And a phrase that continued to come out was, how do we ensure that we are a destination district? A district that when people come out of teacher school, they work to have opportunities to experience Fort Thomas, but they may go and get other experiences in hopes to someday be able to teach here. A destination district would be one where families work really hard to want to eventually raise their children in the district. And so how do we honor that idea that we've been a pool within our region, within the state, to both teachers and to families, and then how we continue to make sure that we're not falling asleep behind the wheel. As many of you, if you're paying attention in national news stories and in the newspapers, exceptional teacher shortage. And so while we've been able to staff our positions, there is a shift in the number of applicants. There's a shift in just the number of teachers that are applying for positions compared to previous years. So we have to be really tight in this area. So in the sub-bullet, some of the things that we'll do, we did some heavy focus on efficiencies this past year, making sure that because we had so many retirements, did a really tight analysis of our spending habits and what our needs were. So there was not wasteful spending, but there are opportunities to make efficiencies and not have dramatic impact on our programming. Part of that, though, is we have to keep a really close eye on our teacher salary. So our schedule, we had a small increase this year, but comparative to others in the region, it wasn't as high as it would be. And so as a team, we want to try to find additional efficiencies and make sure that we're staying at the top of our region in teachers' salaries on the schedule. Also a focus on job-embedded and personalized professional development for our teachers so that they're able to grow individually. That's one way that we can attract our people. A focus on engagement of alumni, faculty, staff, parents, students around personal interviews, surveys, ensuring that we have, that we're meeting their needs, particularly in terms of when they get to college or when they go in the job force. Have they been prepared at a higher level than their peers? And so connecting beyond school. It's time to have a focus on getting back to high levels of attendance, having responsible attention towards how do we improve student, staff, teacher attendance. And that's been one thing that, that has not been our focus. We've been a focus on getting to school in whatever way we can, but encouraging people to stay home if they didn't feel well. And so kind of getting back to that intentionality is a part of making sure that we're engaged. Looking for positive impact on the budget. There's still probably some efficiencies that we can seek. But we can also look for ways to increase revenue that isn't all tax-based, right? But what are some other ways that we can increase our revenue as a district, whether it's through focus on increased tuition, perhaps, or really targeted growth in enrollments. And then we've created, and now it's time to enact our 5-year facility and technology plan. Once you finish renovating the master, the primary facilities, now we got to make sure that the guts are taken care of. And so looking at access points and internet connections and HVAC systems, and Tower Park could be another next kind of view of what our next plans could be to have a community space now that the turf is needing to be replaced, quite frankly, because it's 11 years old. And then our theme is with our staff is going to be the spark, right? How do we spark improvement and have continuous improvement? So that's one big area that we should be able to report back on as the year goes on next June to see how we did with some evidence. The next big idea or big point of emphasis will be to enact our strategic plan. We talked about the development of our strategic plan throughout last spring. We had 5 priority teams that have worked hard to identify not only priorities but objectives and then key strategies over a period of 5 years that will continue to build towards ensuring that we are that destination district. And so enacting these plans will be a big area of emphasis this year. And really the heart of the strategic planning is the development and empowerment of what we're calling leadership and implementation teams. And so we'll talk about this with our faculty on Thursday. We have 5 teams, with people in this room that are on those teams. And they will be tasked with identifying for the public how we know we're doing in these areas of achievement, of positive engaged culture, of individual student growth, of student experiences and opportunities, and around realizing the portrait of a graduate. So how are we doing? How do we know if we're making success? And what our next steps will be. And so those teams are going to be empowered to do that this year. Our instructional focus that our team has talked about and wants to make sure that we emphasize is really a deep look at levels of rigor that we have within the district. What are the scheduling patterns of our students, intentionality in our use of time, and just ensuring that our students have the challenge that they need. And so for us, when we talk about rigor, are you pushed to do just a little bit more than maybe what you expected you could do? And so we'll have some discussions around that. We will also talk, and I know every building is going to have some plans already in place, even for pre-service work around multi-tiered systems of support. In the education world, you hear MTSS discussed with a very intentionalized focus on individual student growth. We will explore what we mean in a lot of our documents around personalized learning. What does that look like? And PBL is problem-based or project-based learning. So how do we enhance the application and transfer of knowledge within our classrooms? And then we will have an intentional focus on our social studies curriculum, and it's on our schedule for resource review. We are now on a 6-year schedule, and so we looked at elementary math this past year. We'll look at K-12 social studies this coming year. And then the last area of emphasis is going to be to continue to expand, enhance our partnerships and our voice. Making sure that we have intentionality with the Education Foundation, with our alumni groups, with the Fort Thomas Business Association, and how do we expand opportunities for students to have internships, experientships, and placements in real world settings. So one of the first steps will be to see how many students are we actually impacting now, because we do have students that are doing co-ops and internships and connections there, and then how do we expand that? We will have new representatives in the General Assembly for both the House and the Senate, and so connecting and making relationships with those who represent us in Frankfort will be an important next step for us to make sure that our voice is heard in Frankfort, and so we'll have some intentionality there, and then having a process to both promote and track some of the co-ops that we talked about. So wanted to have an opportunity to share some of the work that we've been doing this summer. We've had a very busy summer, some productive conversations. Those will be, that was a sad story.
Thanks.
Those will be the areas of emphasis, and I'm happy to answer any questions or to provide clarification if you need.
Do you have questions or anything?
I'm sorry, I have the tickle.
That's okay. That's okay.
No. Well, I just want a comment, not a question, that, about the ramping up or trying to find internships and stuff like that. That is very important. And I know I've talked to the students who have been on them, and they really enjoy them. It's helping them make up their mind for what they want to do for their future. So any way that we can make an improvement and help them with their decisions is great.
Positive step.
It is. It is.
No, I feel like we've been living with that document, so, so I feel good about it, because I think that we've been mired kind of in the safety and security and all that, and we still have kids that are only going to be a freshman 1 year and a 7th grader 1 year, and so just providing all kinds of activities and opportunities for them, so, no, I'm excited about the work we've done. Okay, how about you, Julie, any
I
comments?
am excited. I'm sorry. I'm also a route leader for the drive. So I have students who are texting me, so.
That's
I'm not
okay,
just-
that's okay. Are we supposed to give you money?
I will accept cash.
That's right.
I have a Venmo. So yes, super excited. I mean, we've talked about it so much, and we know and have seen this document, and we want the community to see it. We want staff to really see it. I mean, I think a lot of that discussion will come out with the lit teams in terms of, really moving on it and how do we measure these things to know we're doing them well and we're being successful. We can hold ourselves accountable for that.
That's good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. The next part are board committees. Anybody have an update on board committees?
Just the breakfast.
I know, that's the next thing.
That's what we're looking
Breakfast
for.
is on Thursday. We're looking forward to it. I've got my little labels. I can do raffle tickets, all kinds of fun stuff. So please come hungry. Please come down there and eat. I'm talking to you all over there. Come down there and eat. There's going to be lots of opportunities and good food down there. Okay, so that's on Thursday. All right. Questions or Any additions? Okay. The next is the approval of the consent agenda. So with all board members having had the opportunity to review and pursue any questions about all of the items contained in the board agenda, I would like a motion for the approval of the consent agenda.
So move.
Second?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. All right, and then the next part is other business. Do you have any other business? Thank you for making that presentation. I think it's good to constantly keep up what's going on, in the background and what we're planning for kids. So, all right, if anybody has any comments or questions or anything? Okay, We are adjourned. All right. Thank you.
Cool, I think